So in this video I'm going to be reacting to Fabrizio Romano's latest update on Manchester United launching another bid for Mason Mount. If you do want to hear me discuss all of the transfer news around Manchester United and other clubs throughout this summer transfer window, but you want something more long form, then you can sign up to my Patreon where you will get 4 to 5 podcast episodes each month. I think you can still get a 7-day free trial, and then from there it's £4.50 per month, so I'll leave that linked in the description, and thank you in advance for signing up as you will be helping to support the channel.
Keep an eye on Chelsea also next week, because Chelsea are expected to receive another bid for Mason Mount. Manchester United had an opening bid proposal, rejected £40 million, but they are still there. Manchester United want Mason Mount, the agreement on personal terms is not a problem, and so the conversation Man United-Chelsea will continue. Man United will be the gain. Mount is a priority target, and so work in progress on this deal. Expect a new proposal from Manchester United, waiting to see how much Chelsea will ask, because at the moment it's still £70 million, but of course Man United hope to close the deal for something less, maybe around £50 million. So new bid for Mount.
So it's only the middle of June and it looks like United are already up to around £45 million in bidding for Mason Mount, which by my calculations means that they should hit £50 million by the start of July, £60 million by the start of August, and with a week before the deadline they will do the deal for £70 million, which is probably an overpayment of 100%, because I can't see how Mason Mount is worth more than £45 million max, but really it should be around £35 million, considering he has just 1 year left on his contract. If Chelsea reject this bid next, I think United have got to tell Mason Mount that if he wants to leave he's got to hand in a transfer request, or United are going to have to walk away and pursue other targets, and potentially wait until Chelsea are willing to reduce their demands later on in the transfer window. The power should be with United, and this is exactly the type of transfer that will show how good United's negotiating team is. I think an amazing deal would be between 30 and 35, but realistically that definitely ain't happening. A pretty good deal would have been 35 to 40, with 40 to 45 probably what you would have expected, whereas north of 45 and certainly going over £55 million seems completely extortionate. And so realistically, United are just in a situation where they're going to have to play hardball and try to use Mount's contract situation and desire to leave Chelsea, as well as Chelsea's stacked squad, to their advantage. I would walk away at £50 million, no questions asked, but if United can't get the Mount deal done, who are the alternatives? Well, Gabri Veiga of Celta Vigo is a player who definitely has the same potential as Mason Mount, but right now is not as far progressed in his development, which is what you probably would expect given that Veiga has only just turned 21, whereas Mason Mount is 24. Veiga, like Mount, has goal scoring ability from midfield, and I would argue that Veiga is probably the better of the two when it comes to this department, just having better shooting accuracy when receiving the ball in pressurised areas in and around the box, whereas Mason Mount is definitely better deeper in the middle third, having a better passing range and also providing the chance creating ability from wide positions with his crossing, which Veiga doesn't possess to anywhere near Mount's level. Gabri Veiga is similar to Gundogan, a player who can drop deep to link the play in congested areas with his short passes, but can also push forward in behind the opposition's midfield line and look to arrive late into the box, aiming to pick up between 8 and 12 goals a season. But Veiga does have a degree of explosiveness that Gundogan doesn't, which does make him more of a ball carrier through the centre of the pitch, which I also think is something that Ten Hag sees the appeal of, as having Veiga and Fernandes playing ahead of Casemiro would not only give Ten Hag two pressing machines in that advanced central area, crucial to implementing a counter-pressing style, but Veiga would also provide the ball-carrying ability through the centre of the pitch when the opportunity to transition the attack quickly is there, something that neither Fernandes or Eriksen can do to Veiga's level. Dominic Szoboszlai and James Maddison are two premium alternatives, but due to a combination of Leicester's relegation, as well as him having just 1 year left on his contract, Maddison will likely be available for around £30 to £35 million, whilst Dominic Szoboszlai will likely be double that, having a release clause of around £60 million in his RB Leipzig contract. Now, whilst I do rate Szoboszlai and I do think he has world-class potential, I would prefer James Maddison, not just because of cost, as if they were both to cost £60 million, which Maddison could have easily been worth had Leicester remained in the Premier League and had he had 2 or 3 years left on his contract. And this is because I just think right now James Maddison will produce higher output next season, which is what United need. and instant impact. Now Szoboszlai I think will eventually around 2026-2027 develop into a world-class attacking midfielder capable of putting up 30 goal contribution seasons in the Premier League, but coming into United next season I think Maddison has a greater impact in his first few seasons, and that is probably because Maddison is 4 years older than the Hungarian, with the Englishman being 26 and just about to enter his peak in the coming year or two. But like Maddison, I also think Gabri Veiga would suit that role that he would be filling in Ten Hag's side, and I do think he would be a better stylistic fit than Szoboszlai because he has greater energy and ball carrying ability. Maddison to me is the best option as a out and out Mount alternative, as whilst he isn't renowned for his pressing or his off the ball abilities, his defensive stats for Leicester do seem pretty impressive. And to be honest, like De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva or Mason Mount, I think Maddison is the type of attacking midfielder that can be moulded into playing more as a roaming playmaker, fulfilling the defensive obligations needed to play alongside Bruno Fernandes as two false eights ahead of Casemiro. Also, if you did need more convincing as to why Maddison would be the best Mount alternative, just like Mount did in 2021-22, Maddison managed to pick up double figures in the Premier League, but he did it last season in a Leicester team that was relegated. So imagine the added goal contribution that Maddison can bring from that position. Christian Eriksen last season picked up a total of 9 goal contributions in the Premier League, with 8 of them being assists, and with Bruno Fernandes also showing previously that he is a type of midfielder who can pick up 30 goal contributions in a single season, which he did in 2020-2021 with 18 goals and 12 assists, then there's a high probability that if the system gets the best out of both, United could have 2 central midfielders ahead of Casemiro picking up between 50 and 60 goal contributions over the course of a whole season, and for between 30 to 35 million pounds and only maybe 150-160,000 per week, Maddison seems like much better value for money than even signing Mount in the first place.